Wasn't kidding. He starts.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Why do you watch this stuff?
Okay, sometimes it's curiosity.
Look at her.
this
She's
case.
like, oh my God.
The thumbnail
he's setting me on
literally
fire.
showed that. That's why I watched this one. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, and that's why I was like, what the fuck? Because they show that as the thumbnail. And I was like, are they incenting her? What the fuck? So this one, 100% curiosity.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys can't see what he's talking about. There's a lady and she has a giant like pile of incense on her stomach, and a dude has a torch lighter and he's lighting the incense. It's a purification ritual. It has to be.
I would assume that, or else it's a very freaky way of cooking rice pilaf.
That's what I thought. I'm like, that's the rice and that's the fucking ground beef.
Yeah, it does look like that at first, but then when he ignites it, you see it's some sort of incense. And
Well, then what's the point of the incense if he sucks all of it up with the vacuum?
I wondered the same thing, hence why I'm so curious.
Oh, fuck.
I'm at a complete loss. Truthfully, I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Alright. Well, that's fine, because we're not supposed to even be talking about that. We're supposed to be talking about something important.
Well, in a way, it is related, because apparently it happened in Shanghai, China, and we're talking about anime outranking and outselling basically popular comics in the West. So
Mangoes. They're called mangas.
Mangas?
Mangas. Yeah,
Manga.
you know, because it's true, man. You can't compete. Like, all the time I spent making comic books and like working on people's projects and things, none of those projects ever made it as big as like even the smallest manga. Like,
I believe it.
I think back in like 2022,
Mm-hmm.
they were talking about how the comic book industry is in like serious trouble. And the reason is because the end of year figures were like 500 million. All comics across all comic book companies combined was about 500 million. Not bad, right? Until you realize that manga sold 1.5 billion.
Well, that's why I was saying, do you think it's a strict population numbers game? Or do you think it's actually higher quality?
I think it's higher quality. I think it's okay, oh my God, okay. So why are manga sales so much higher than US comic sales? Think about this, okay? Manga is smaller, it's easier to read, you get way more content, it's printed in black and white, so the price point is a lot lower. I mean, you have manga for everything. You have so much diversity in manga storytelling. I mean, have you ever seen those mangas where it's like dudes and they're like on a baseball team? They have like baseball manga, soccer manga, romance manga.
I have seen a few of these, actually, yeah.
Giant monster kaiju manga, giant robot manga.
Alternate dimension high school monster stuff.
Yeah, it's like anything you can imagine. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure why. But they really took over like the young kids now. In our age, back in like the 90s, forget it. That was basically when comics ended. Because that, seriously, what was X-Men #1? Who did that? Was it Grant Morrison? Do you remember the X-Men #1, the reprint in the 90s? It was all super edgy. They had like 8 covers.
Oh yeah,
And they had like a big,
I do remember this.
And they said that it would be like the most important comic book ever produced. It was supposed to have like, you know, it was supposed to be worth like $1 million, and everybody went out and bought them, and now it's worth nothing. You see it in like everywhere.
That's the story of the 90s comic books, really. I mean, Superman Dies is the same story, only slightly different. It was overproduced, and you can't even get the original cover price back for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like when you think of it that way, it's like the 90s kind of killed comics in a way, and they've just sort of been limping on for the last 25 years. This has been like, it's like the golden age, the silver age, the bronze age, and this is like the vomit age, the shit age. It's really like I rack my brain about it because I want it to be different.
Well, you know, technically it's the digital age, but that's apparently not a good thing.
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. It's hard for comic books to compete because you're looking at, if you're lucky, $4, maybe $5, and you get 20 to 25 pages of comic books. It's filled with ads, you know, and it's just, it takes you 5 minutes to read it and it's done. So you buy 3 of those, you're paying about $15. And then how much is a subscription to Netflix these days? You know?
I see your point. Bang for your buck. There isn't much.
Yeah, but with manga, they usually cost around $7 or $8. You get about 80 pages to 100 pages. You know, they're highly collectible. They're small. They're printed in black and white. The stories are pretty addictive. And those mangaka, the guys who make manga in Japan, those dudes are nuts. They work 24/7, you know? They're really passionate about that stuff. And you get variety. You get infinitely more variety than you do with comic books.
There is a gigantic gulf in variety. I'll give you that. Almost everything is possibly covered. And every single angle. And in America, it's really, they're now on the 15th X-Men prom?
Yeah, it's only like, how many... That's another thing. The constant rebooting. Like, how many... We had the New 52 reboot. We had the new DC reboot. We've had, like... Now it's Absolute DC, Absolute Batman, and all that stuff. I don't know. Same thing with Marvel, dude.
You know, the funny thing, I don't know... I'm not trying to talk out of turn on it. It's not really my area of expertise. But I've been hearing that the Absolute Batman is actually poisoning the well over at DC. Because it's basically stealing the funder from other comic book series that have been doing decent. So they're saying it's going to basically lead to an even bigger fall in the... as an example, the main thing they were talking about is Batman numbers. That's what they were mainly quoting, the little bit I'm drawing from here. And they were saying that Batman's numbers have totally dipped, but at the same exact time, Ultimate Batman is actually the exact numbers. It's obvious the audiences all went there, and they're not buying the other stuff, the mainstream stuff. So they're saying it's actually firebombing them because they've been promoting that shit heavy on YouTube for like at least about a year now. And I can honestly say I've been following the story on YouTube, but I haven't bought a single comic book.
I just think it's weird. It's not really like, he's all weird. He's all huge and buff, and he has an axe, and his cape is like some kind of weird tool thing. It like I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, I mean this sincerely. The whole absolute dimension, timeline, however you want to call it, it seems to be set up as a complete joke. Basically, everyone is dialed to 11, so to speak, and completely unrealistic. Where it's almost the antithesis of like a Dark Knight sort of story, where, you know, everything is believable, where everything is impossible to believe. As you pointed out, Batman is the size of Bane, and he kind of looks like he ate Bane and then started shooting up his venom. He really does.
Yeah.
And no one has noticed that the Batman is the other 9-foot tall dude in the room who's 700 pounds. It strains believability that he could hide while being an absolute giant beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so visually on its face, you know it's complete bullshit. And all the characters, it's just it's almost like what they did with the Gotham TV show. They kind of took all the ideas and put it in a blender and seen what stuck. And it sounds funny, but it's kind of like a script al dente style, you know?
It's hard. Well, I don't know, because it's hard to... It doesn't make sense. To have Batman started in 1940, he went all the way to the 90s, so that's about 50 years of continuity, right? You have all different Batmans from different ages. Same thing with Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash. you know, and then Silver Age Spider-Man, there's like maybe 35 years of straight Spider-Man continuity. Then something happened in the 90s where everything got rebooted. Do you remember Heroes Reborn? And then Crisis on Infinite Earths? And the idea that Heroes Reborn might have been in response to Crisis on Infinite Earths? Ever since then, how many Batman #1s have we had? Like, I remember, let's see, Thor, there was Thor. And it was just Thor for decades. If you bought a Thor comic, it was just Thor. You know,
I see what you're saying.
Now you have Mighty Thor, who's a girl. You have, like, what is it? The Thor where he fights the God Butcher. You have, it's so many.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Effectively, they're splitting the audience with fracturing up the franchises.
Well, what I think is, because, I mean, making things different is fine. What I don't understand is why you would change, because whenever you change something, and this is something that manga is actually really good at. They're really good at, like, derivatives and spin-offs and things like that. But there's a sort of core to it, you know? Like Dragon Ball Z, Goku has been Goku for ages. What's the kid's name from One Piece? The rubber boy? He's been the same fucking guy. Naruto has been Naruto. Even though I know Naruto is done now or whatever, but it's Naruto, you know?
Right.
But Thor is represented in so many different ways. Same thing with Captain America. There's so many different versions, and the multiverse, it's freaking exhausting. Like, that stuff is kind of fun in a Silver Age kind of way, but for fuck's sake, if I go out and buy a Batman comic, I want a Batman comic. I don't want Batman 37B negative from the negative world. Do you know what I mean?
Well, suppose you did want that. Like, as an example, the free market has spoken. The absolute Batman is basically Batman from -DXY, kind of like you were saying.
Well, that's what they always say. The ones that fail get relegated to a universe that we never ever freaking see again.
Exactly. So it's kind of a built-in safety hatch, if you will, storyline-wise. They could just pull the ripcord and say, well, that was in a dimension -A.
Yeah, this is absolute Batman from the absolute universe, number -3728. You know, like, it's just okay. In order for stories to matter, you have to create an emotional connection with them, right? And it's hard for me to have an emotional connection with something that is only copy 8,553 from the 8,553rd universe. And you know what I mean? It's hard to establish a connection with. It's almost like Rick and Morty, you know what I mean? Where he talks about there's infinite universes in it and none of it matters.
Right.
That's kind of the problem here. When something happened in Batman, Nightfall, when he broke his back, that was a big deal. Because there was continuity and there was, you know...
And he had to get the whole Asbat thing worked out afterwards.
Yeah, and Azrael took over and, you know, he had to get all the Bat family for help and he had to retrain and there was a whole thing involved. I don't know.
And it was the most anticlimactic ending ever. He literally pulled off Asbat's mask and Azrael just walks home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was basically
what was it? Hold on. Nightfall's a good one. Nightfall is probably my favorite comic, but that's the one that got me into comics.
Yeah,
you know?
But you got to admit they shit the bed on the ending.
Well,
he literally just pulls his mask off and they walk home.
Yeah. That's literally what happens, but when you think of it figuratively, when you think of it emotionally, you have to see, but that's
I hear you. Emotionally, it's a punch, but figuratively and narratively, they just shit the bed.
The reason why Goku is so beloved is because he has all those years. God damn it, dude. He's been consistent for decades. That's why it's important. That's why people care. People have been emotionally invested. He takes on a life of his own. Imagine if they reinvented him, Goku number -3567.
Well, you know what's funny? when they did the live action, a lot of people hated it because it was a white actor. And I was on board, but not for the reason you'd think. In the old school Godzilla movies in the 70s and whatnot, the 60s,
Yeah.
there was an episode of one of them where an alien was running the shit and the aliens land and they all take off their helmets and they're all blonde white people. And they're like, hey, everybody, how's it going? And so they set up that these evil imposter aliens that were merely pretending to be good looked just like white people. So I assume, of course, that the evil alien race looks just like white people.
There's some kind of weird, veiled, ethno-nationalist racism going on.
Well, clearly, that was the implication. I mean...
well, we did just bomb them, or like, they were just nukes, and yeah.
I mean, and you could all but hear the white people saying, basically they were saying, free land. That was the gist of it. They were just saying, free land.
Yeah, and now look at the Japanese. They're beating our asses in comics. And you know what? That's that's another factor. That, like, people in Japan are, like, ridiculously, obsessively loyal to manga. And now, our generation, obsessively loyal to manga. Manga sells so much better than comic books, and I don't blame him. I don't fucking blame him, dude. It's good. Like if you ask a kid, he probably reads manga, he probably watches anime. It's huge here.
Not to mention the crossover potential. For instance, did you notice Squid Games was based off of a manga?
No, I had no idea. Never seen it either.
Really? Oh, you're missing Asian sensation, my friend.
I know. Isn't it Korean?
South Korean.
South Korean? Yeah. Manga comes from Japan, right?
Yeah, but...
as if no South Korean person could ever make a manga.
That's what I was about to say. They totally bar them.
Yeah, they're barred. The culture is too strong. Yeah, no, they take that shit real seriously. But I like some mangas. Have you ever read, like, really, like, go read Dragon Ball. That shit is compelling. It's incredible. It's funny, it's action-packed, it's dramatic. Have you ever read, have you ever heard of Gundam?
Yeah, I've heard of Gundam.
Oh my god, Gundam, dude. I cried when I first read Gundam. It made me cry. And, like, it's sad. Amuro is so sad what happens to that poor boy. Oh my god. But he does it. He suffers for your sins inside of a giant robot. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good stuff.
Now, what are your thoughts on animation done in this fashion? For instance,
God,
like
that's
Cowboy Bebop, maybe.
Cowboy Bebop. Oh my. Okay, so that's another thing that comics might want to take a lesson from manga. Manga and anime are so supportive of each other, man. There's such a huge culture, but this is why I like DC comics, because what is it? Okay, but hold on. To the audience, whoever's listening to this, at the time of this recording, like, tons of DC animated movies are on YouTube for free, and you can just watch them. And I highly recommend that you do, because they're great.
All-Star Superman is pretty damn good.
All-Star Superman's great.
Free with commercials.
Free. But the commercials they place in the weirdest spots.
Damnedest spots.
It's
it's really invasive. But sometimes it's funny, but 9 times out of 10, it's just like getting your teeth pulled. Yeah.
At the highest emotional moment, suddenly you're watching a detergent commercial. You know, when Lex Luthor is finally going to kill Superman. Have you tried Dawn today? Like, fuck. But that's what I like that. I like, they did like The Dark Knight Returns. They did that in animated form. I watched that one. Have you seen Batman Ninja?
I have seen the thumbnails for it. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my god. I do and also do not recommend this at all. Because Batman Ninja, it's about Batman, and he's fighting Gorilla Grodd, and Gorilla Grodd has invented a time machine. And it's like, have you seen the third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
Turtles in Time?
I don't think that's what it's called.
But that's
Turtles
what happens.
in Time is the, yeah.
They have a stick and they go to feudal Japan.
Yeah.
And there's one white dude
scepter,
there in a colonial. Yeah. No.
And they think that they're Kappa because they're ancient Japanese.
Yep, we've both clearly seen this film.
And yeah, I was alive in the 90s. And you know what? When I was a kid, I thought it was great. Watching it as an adult, boo, awful. But yeah, that's basically what happens. Batman goes back and he becomes like a legendary ninja, the legendary Bat Ninja of ancient Japan. But the problem is all the other villains are there with him. So there's like a Joker clan, a Two-Face clan, a Penguin clan, a Poison Ivy clan, and then a Deathstroke clan. And so he goes back there and he has to find a way to liberate feudal Japan from all these evil warlords. And it ends, like, it goes to the craziest places, and it ends with them having a giant mecha kaiju battle where a giant kaiju Batman is fighting like a giant mecha Joker.
Oh, Jesus.
And it doesn't hold back at all. Anyway, that's what happens when you mix comics and manga.
I might have to check this out.
Just watch it for the experience. Have it on in the back. Because I'll tell you right now, halfway through Batman Ninja, my eyes glazed over. I started having a panic attack. I was like, no, it's not real. None of this is real. but just let it run in the background. It's crazy, dude. They all have different castles, but the castles are all giant robots, and they all form together Power Ranger style into a giant. It's crazy.
Are you telling me there's a Joker Zord?
Yeah, he has a castle and it has giant arms, and he smashes the Batmobile with his giant castle arms. It's crazy.
I'm gonna have to see this. Like you said, it's a spectacle at this point. It needs to be seen.
Just turn off your brain. Just let your intellect die and enjoy. I think he calls it Arkham Castle, and yeah, it turns into a giant robot. It's freaking horrible. But yeah, that's what happens. It's like crossfading, like fucking alcohol and fucking
weed,
fucking smoking weed. Oh my god, it's too much. What were we talking about?
Well, we started
Mangoes.
at manga, and then we switched into comic books, and then live action TV and movies for a while.
That's what they got to do, man. Why doesn't Marvel make more anime? Dude, just how hard is that, man?
Apparently, it's pretty damn hard. My guess is, much like with Breaking Bad, there's a bit of a learning curve.
Because in Japan, those animation studios are intense. Did you know that a lot of the 90s cartoons were outsourced to Japan?
Makes perfect sense.
To the animation studios there. Specifically, DuckTales really surprised me because I thought if Disney was going to animate a cartoon, they would do it in-house. No, DuckTales was outsourced to a Japanese studio. It's crazy.
I did not know DuckTales was outsourced. It doesn't surprise me, but I
just
didn't know
learned it the other day. That's true, right? I mean, somebody in the comments tell me if that's true.
I mean, if we're just gonna make shit up, I could make shit up really good right now.
No, because I was researching DuckTales because I fucking was playing DuckTales Remastered. You know the fucking that Xbox game.
I know it.
And
I
yeah,
also remember the old school Nintendo version.
Well, yeah, that one. I thought that I got good at the game. No, I'm not good at the game. It's just way easier on Xbox than it was on Nintendo. Anyway, so here's the question. Can the United States ever catch up to manga, or is it already too late?
I think it's a tipping point, like in a zombie movie, and it's already too late.
It's already, you know what? I actually tend to agree, and I hate that because I love comics and I would love to operate in the comic book industry. Here's what I think. Here's my plan.
Okay.
One, comics need to stop being color printed, make them black and white, make them like manga. Or if you do keep colors, do base colors and do it washed out on like a newspaper print. And sell them for like $10 and give me like 150 pages, 120 pages in one book. That would be perfect. Because a lot of comics, they sell single issues up to 6 and then they bundle 6 into a fucking trade. Do that. but make them small, make them half the size, and sell them for like $10, and you'll be back in business, baby.
This sounds completely reasonable. But,
It's completely reasonable.
I don't think they'll do it. I just don't think they'll do it. There's too big of a chance they might make money.
God damn it, Peacemaker. You know what? You're not gonna fucking believe this.
I'm all ears though.
They did it. They fucking did that shit. I'm fucking dead serious. They had like Joker, Superman, Static Shock. And what they did is they just took these graphic novels and they made them manga size, and they did exactly what I said. They just put them on like newsprint and they just sold them for like $10. And I bought a couple of them for my buddy. I don't know if I should even say his name, but it was his birthday, and I bought him a couple for his birthday, and he went to read them. That's a great way to get people into comics, dude.
You know what way I was fond of, and I don't know if manga does anything like this, but I think they're called page punchers, the McFarlane page punchers. It's basically a comic book with a small action figure.
Oh, dude. That would be awesome.
Wouldn't it though? Like you open up your hentai and there's a little waifu right there.
There's a little waifu to aid you in the jerky jerk. Oh my god. But imagine the price point though, especially for a McFarlane toy.
Well, that's the problem with almost all McFarlane stuff. It's a bit of a Veblen product. It really is.
Veblen, well, I mean, yeah, he's...
Keep in mind, Veblen product, you're just paying for it because it's fancy. That's what a Veblen product means, basically. So, and everyone just agreed at some point that McFarlane's are worth an extra $6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
God damn it, that $6 can buy me a manga, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But you're gonna get a McFarlane figure with your page punch.
So that's what I was thinking. Can US Comics ever come back? Kinda. I was thinking of all kinds of different things, gimmicks, 3D stuff, including packs of cards inside, you know, signed issues, all kinds of stuff that would increase the value of it. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. I think Netflix is like $15 a month or something like that, right?
Thereabouts.
So it's around $15 a month. You buy 3 or 4 comics, or you can have an entire month of unlimited entertainment, film and TV. Which is the better product?
I think most people are going to go for the TV.
So yeah. And most people do go for the fucking TV.
Oh, I guarantee it.
What I think comics needs to do is, 1, start printing them like their mangas, make them smaller, make them more collectible. 2, absolutely garner to comic book fans. All right? Adhere to comic book fans. Whatever basement dwelling nerds like, do that.
You know, on that note, they could follow James Gunn's lead and do hardcore pornography.
There's precedent for that. I mean, how many, like, in the 1980s and the 1990s, during the fucking Bronze Age, how many, like, scantily clad, busty women were on covers of comics?
Oh God, forget about it. And think of this. Just close your eyes for a picture. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the Savage Land from the early 90s. Tell me you don't see Rogue scantily clad.
Oh my God.
I'll call you a fucking liar. Okay?
Dude.
And every time we talk about Marvel during the 80s, I can't help but think of the time so many Spider-Man issues. But I always think about...
Halt! I know what he's trying to do. Damn it! He always pushes the conversation towards this one thing, and there is no Japanese manga analog for that story, by the way.
You're telling me there is no Japanese booty sex? I'm going to call you a liar.
There is.
Well, damn straight there is, obviously.
But
Hentai
Goku never did it. It never happened to Goku.
Well, that's because Goku would lock on it.
Well, I mean, Goku's strong. He's strong enough to destroy mountains.
See, that's my point. He would twitch and snap.
Uncle Jim wouldn't touch that. He'd be too scared. All right, tell him about your stupid comic. Tell him. Go ahead.
Well, it was the 1980s, and it was a different time, you see. And Spider-Man had his butthole touched.
Nah, he's not joking. That really did happen. There's a video on my channel in which Spider-Man gets molested. As a young Peter Parker, he gets molested before spider powers. It's called the Booty Buster Spectacular. It's on my channel. I got a huge copyright strike for that. So go watch it.
It's well worth it. And
no, it's not. It's a horrible story. Boring as shit.
Methinks that I does protest too much.
It hurts a little bit, okay? It was a pain in the butt. What do you want me to say?
Brought to you by Master Roshi.
No, I mean, nobody would ever touch Goku that way. I'm just saying.
Master Roshi would.
Oh, dude, don't even. Oh my God, he's a perv.
He's a perv. Master Roshi will touch anybody.
He likes girls, though.
Yeah, but I think it's just the kinky and the wrongness of it would appeal to him.
Anyway, you see, always. Stupid Peacemaker and the stupid orgy scene, man, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous and completely unwarranted.
There was a ton of dicks.
I knew you would object to that.
I'm not objecting. I'm just describing. There was a ton
so you're for?
of dicks.
You're for?
I appreciate that all angles and sizes and colors were represented.
Well, you gotta have beverage. That's what I'm saying. That's, you know what?
It wasn't just all giant dudes. There was a small dude's front and center doing the helicopter.
I don't know.
I've never seen that small of a helicopter.
The whole thing is mid. That whole scene is mid. It was the middest, and that's the thing. It wasn't even that wild. They weren't even doing like that wild stuff. Like,
what kind of wild stuff, Jeff?
You know what I'm fucking talking about.
No, I don't think I do. Tell me what you consider wild that wasn't represented.
Dude,
in
everything
Peacemaker.
in that scene was vanilla, okay?
Apparently Jeff don't like white girls.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You're just complaining about all the vanilla.
Vanilla is not flavorless.
Okay, fair enough.
Vanilla is just vanilla, okay? It is a great... Shut up! What
Jeff
are you doing?
likes his porn more flavorful.
He does this. He hijacks the podcast. I'm over here trying to find solutions to fix the comic book industry, and all he wants to talk about is phalluses and molestation.
I hear we are discussing the same thing from different angles.
How are you going to save comics? And no, you can't just put a whole bunch of dicks in it.
Apparently you can. It worked for Game of Thrones.
Well, fuck! I hate it because it's not wrong.
That's what she said.
All right, I'm done. That's it for this episode. We can't save comics. We can't. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. You draw your phallus booty buster spectacular, all right, and I will do something legitimate, and we'll see whose comic saves the comic book industry.
Who's more ashamed of their previous work, though? Didn't you point out to me Marvel gave you one copyright strike, and it was on that specific story?
Yeah, because they don't want people to know that they did a booty buster spectacular for Spider-Man.
But they still did it.
They did do it in an attempt to help protect kids from molestation.
Yeah.
I don't know if it worked. It didn't work for Spider-Man, I can tell you that much.
It definitely did not work for Spider-Man. But at his most heroic, he saved a young boy's booty cheeks. You cannot say that Spider-Man did not protect a young boy's booty cheeks from molestation that day.
The little Puerto Rican boy?
Yeah, now granted, the chick that was going to molest him, I think he should have just went with it.
Oh my God!
Spider-Man had to get fisted by Slippery Fist. Uncle Slippery Fist.
It doesn't matter.
From
At the
South
end of
Park.
the day, that little Puerto Rican boy has virgin cheeks. All right, that's the point of the book, man.
I felt let down. I'm not sure where I was going with that. Hold on, Misty.
You know exactly where you were going with that. All right, that's enough about this stupid molestation. Anyway, manga is beating comic books. It's beating comic books in every arena except for films.
And molestations.
Fuck you.